Hello, my name is Christian, and this is a Christian rock-u-mentary.
In 1984, Brad Collins put on a gig at the Salt Lake Indian Center featuring 45 Grave with local acts, the Potato Heads, and Shot in the Dark. These are photographs that I took of that night. We were so excited for the show that we decided to meet early and play hacky sack, have a few beers, and hang out. It didn't take long for the little apartment that we called our headquarters on Kensington to fill up. All of our friends were there, really excited for the show, especially John Morse, since he was the lead singer in the band Potato Heads. In these photos, John can be seen wearing floral swing trunks, a white dress shirt with a tie, and on his back there's a bumper sticker that says, "Copenhagen, it satisfies." Our little group of friends was like family, and it was pretty tight-knit. So we're all especially excited that John Morris's band, the Potato Heads, was going to be playing that night. We really had a good time gathering at the little headquarters and hanging out with the kids from East High and kids from Cottonwood High School, kids from Alta. We all kind of converged at the older kids' apartment and got ready for this great show that we had been waiting for. We'd been listening to Sleep in Safety, which was 45 Grave's album, that was just so out of this world, and we were really ready to go to this show. We were excited because it was a new type of sort of style for the music scene. I think the official term was horror punk, but we called it zombie punk. Maybe even death punk. I think it was coined death rock, but definitely became gothic. 45 Grave was a special act indeed, and a one-of-a-kind style. So yeah, it was pretty cool. People were wearing their mohawks up. Some of the guys had black eyeliner. Definitely everybody had their spikes, black gear on, berets, white face paint. Zombie punk, skeleton punk, sort of like, Social D's Skeleton, everybody kind of death rocked it, and the girls came dressed in black, their hair was up, their faces were pale. A lot of the dudes were just wearing your basic, jeans and boots, jeans and sneakers or high tops with, spiked bracelets or collars, mohawks, shaved heads, just kind of done up ready to go to this show and do it up right. We were really excited for this show, and this is how kids from around the city would come together under one roof and dance and celebrate life. Punk rock was a really fun movement. 45 Grave had a surfy sort of style, and since we were skate punks, we really dug it. Everyone met at the little apartment on Kensington that we called the headquarters. This was a place where we would all meet. There were usually no parents around, and we as kids could pretty much joke around, drink, party, go on dates, swear, whatever. It was a place where we could be free as kids in our kind of newfound adulthood, I guess you could call it. Little apartments like this and houses like this one were popping up all over the city, where different factions of punk rockers and little punk rock families and communities were popping up. They were all over the valley, and these little punk rock communities, or factions if you will, families, would all come together at these concerts when we'd share our love for the music and dance. For many of us, these families were our families, especially for those of us that felt sort of marginalized or kind of felt like outliers, if you will, in the crazy culture that was Salt Lake City in the mid-'80s. Brad Collins, in the phone booth, down in the basement at the Salt Lake Indian Center, the night of the gig. 45 Grave, pictured in front of the famous mural inside of the Urban Indian Center of Salt Lake. It wasn't long before the inside of the Indian Center smelled of clove cigarettes. This slam dancing young punk can be seen in the classic Circle Jerks attire. torn up Levi's, a flannel tied around your waist, and a punk rock t-shirt, and a mohawk, some boots, probably some chains, maybe a bandana. Then the Potato Heads came out. They were fantastic. They came out high energy. Johnny was jumping around like he was playing soccer or hacky sack. They performed all their hits. Things from Gravity Party, Under the Sea, Athena, Pulse, Man in the Glass, Beginning of the End, Gravity Party, Change in the Seasons, Frustration, Kiss of Death, you name it. They played it. And we loved it. The crowd went nuts. The punkers in the crowd loved it. Soon, a circle erupted on the floor. People were slamming and circling, laughing, having fun. Somebody would fall into the crowd would throw you back into the circle would keep going. Johnny Moe and those guys, they just really put on a great show. The Potato Heads had a loyal following. I mean, in Salt Lake, they were rock stars. They played all over the place. What was even more fun was the fact that they were our friends. We knew them. So going to one of their shows was something really special. We loved supporting John Morris, Jonathan Clark, Steve Dallimore, Chris Moore, Brennan Welsh. We loved supporting the Potato Heads. We had so much fun at their shows.
Song called Athena.
Shot in the Dark were legends. They were playing all over the Salt Lake Valley as well at the same time. You could see them in like Studio 505. They played the Speedway Halloween show. They were just a great band. Lisa played the bass. Gene Parsons was the singer. I think there was a Steve Morrison on guitar and Kenny Fry on guitar. I'm not sure who the drummer is. I need more information. I've been trying to figure it out. But anyway, they rocked, and the crowd loved them just as much as they loved the Potato Heads. So it was on when Shot in the Dark came out. I think the first time I heard them play was at the Maxim in Salt Lake City. One of my favorite shots at the Wall of Power. There were so many times that we stood in front of that wall of speakers. It's great to remember this. Shot in the Dark definitely owned the stage when they played. between Lisa's commanding presence and Gene's McJagger-like form of presentation. They owned it, and they knew it. People loved them. They had a great following, too. Shot in the Dark totally ruled in our book. Then the lights went down, and it was time for 45 Grave to take the stage. Dinah Cancer came out wearing a black executioner's hood, a black leather dress, spike-heeled boots, and cracking a bullwhip. We couldn't believe our eyes. At first the punks were sort of stunned, but then the crowd went nuts. The slam pit broke out, the circle began, with Dinah Cancer belting out her lyrics. It was on. Rob Graves, aliasly known as Rob Ritter, on bass. I remember their guitarist, Paul B. Cutler, had a particularly ghoulish style. He also, I believe, was in the movie Return of the Living Dead, and he was one of the zombies that picked up the paramedic mic and said, "Send more cops, send more paramedics," I believe. 45 Grade had a song called Party Time that they used in Return of the Living Dead, and it was kind of an anthem to us, too. Another of the great songs that they did that was sort of zombie punk was their version of Polyunsaturated Blood. That was a hit, and boy, the crowd went nuts when they played that. I believe they also used that in Return of the Living Dead. So between songs like Party Time and Polyunsaturated Blood, Black Cross, Evil, Violent World, it gave us lots to rock out to, and the circle just erupted. The show was on. Punks just had a great time. Dinah Cancer was mesmerized. We had never seen anything like these death punkers or death rockers, and with their surfy kind of ride as skate punks, it really resonated with us. So we really just enjoyed this. They were a Southern California horror punk surf rock band, and they can be credited with being the precursors to what became Gothic, or goth. Sure, there were a few other bands that were doing stuff in the same genre at this time. They were definitely surfing the forefront. Kids lined the stage. They were sitting along the front of the stage and along the sides of the stage. They were by the speakers. They were standing right in front. They couldn't wait to see what this band was going to do next. 45 Grave did not disappoint. The show went on into the night. Punks danced. The circle went around. Kids fell down. They helped each other up. But this show just was a blast. Nobody really got hurt, even though it was kind of a gothic death sort of scene. It was a fun scene, and the punks from all over were there to meet each other and dance together and enjoy this wild band that you don't really get to hear on regular airtime much, especially not back then. So it was a real sacred sort of evening, to be honest. I never forgot it, and I'm sure a bunch of these punk rockers that were there didn't forget it. I remember our buddy Britt Welsh went over and met Dinah Cancer in between her songs, and they hugged and talked like they were the best of friends. It was really cool that you could approach the singer of the band and not get hassled or thrown out by security. Dinah Cancer might have looked like a Hammer horror bride, but she was certainly one of the sweetest people that you met. She was approachable at the end of the gig and let us take pictures of the band in front of the big Indian Center mural. They were really great people, really nice. I saw them years later in 2006, I believe, at Bert's Tiki Lounge, but that's another day. I really wish it was easier to match up people with pictures, and I wish I could have matched up who these different people are. I know that 45 Grave has had an impressive lineup of key players throughout their career, and some of these people in this footage are no longer with us. Rob Graves, aka Rob Ritter, being one of the most mentionable of these passing members. I know that 45 Grave reformed, and they carry on to this day with a new lineup with Diana Cancer as the only original member, I believe. But yeah, some of them have passed on. They put on one heck of a great show this night. I was so stoked when I found these old proof sheets, and when I realized I didn't really have the negatives anymore and had no idea really where they are, I thought it might be worth trying to zoom in and capture what little imagery I could of this most memorable evening. I thought many people in the Salt Lake punk community that were there that night might enjoy this as well. Brad Collins, through his radio show on KRCL 90.1 FM and his record store Raunch Records and Skate, as well as the many gigs he promoted, really brought punk rock to all us kids in the Salt Lake Valley and surrounding areas. His shows were so diverse and alternative. He shared with us underground music from all over the world. It was crazy music like we had never heard before, and it was punk rock. His radio shows from that little booth above the Blue Mouse soon grew to be the highlights of our week. The music Brad was playing, we had no idea where to find. We recorded his radio shows diligently and listened to them all week. Brad and the music he was sharing really resonated with a lot of us kids. We were living life in the margins, latchkey kids with a nervous and angsty bent. The music Brad shared was very visceral, raw, and real. It made sense to kids who were trying to survive in a world of nuclear nightmares at a grassroots kind of level. We grew to love Brad's presentation of, really hard to find great bands, and because it was not mainstream, it became important to a whole bunch of us kids. Brad was a direct conduit to punk rock, and he deserves huge love for what he has done for so many. This night in 1984 is still one of my favorite teenage memories, and Brad Collins brought us 45 Grave.
way.